Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Linde Werdelin The One 2.2, 44 millimeters in brushed and polished stainless steel. This is an exceptionally rare reference, one of 88 pieces manufactured. And I want to add that if you like this Linde Werdelin The One, like all of the watches showcased on our channel, it is actual inventory available for purchase on our website, Watch You Want. We also have high-resolution images of the watch and its accessories. So if you like the video and you like the timepiece, definitely check out Stage 2 on our website, Watch You Want. Now you can see that the Linde Werdelin The One 2.2 features all the hallmarks of the British, Danish, Swiss brand. Designed in Denmark with a business sensibility and corporate strategy honed in London, the watches are assembled with Swiss know-how, and the result of this multinational manufacture is a watch that, quite honestly, is the best fitting 44 millimeter sports watch I have ever encountered. Now my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, is a little bit below average in size, but you can see despite that, the fit I'm getting is secure, it's nicely conformed, and you can see how much additional space I have beyond the extremity of the lugs on both sides of my wrist. This is the oversized watch for the guy who likes the oversized sports watch look, but doesn't quite have the wrist for a Royal Oak Offshore or an Hublot Big Bang. You will have no problem with the One, and I have to say that if your wrist is as small as 14 centimeters in circumference, this is still going to be an easy fit. Now the nice thing about it is, I've often said oversized sports watches need to pare down their lugs, and that's the key to getting a big case to fit a small wrist. Linde Werdelin actually has a sort of negative lug architecture where you can see the strap actually intrudes on the space normally occupied by the extremity of the lug, and rather than extending the lug out to the strap moves inward to meet the lug. This allows it to bend down quite easily and also get started along with the arc of the lug, get started on working around the curvature of the wrist before it even reaches the edge of the wrist. That's the key to an excellent fit. The other key to the excellent fit is the fact that this watch, being powered by an ETA 2892 automatic, a very thin and fine movement, is much thinner than the Royal Oak Offshores, than the Hublot Big Bangs, and even most of the Linde Werdelin S.p.A and Octopus lines. Those tend to use Valjoux 7750 based movements that are much thicker. This one, being only 12 millimeters thick in total, is in Rolex sports watch territory in terms of its thickness and its feel on the wrist. Very light. The strap is also an exceptional piece, being a hybrid of ostrich on the outside with calfskin leather on the inside, very supple around its extremities. It curves very easily. And with a convenient oversized pin buckle, making small adjustments is a piece of cake. Very easy, very comfortable. Also, because the watch head itself is fairly compact, the pin buckle and the strap itself are sufficient to counterweight the watch, so it doesn't have any sense of being top heavy or wanting to capsize or roll over on the wrist. You can see just how good that fit is, both in terms of size, edge to edge, and in terms of the curvature of the watch on the skin. Looking at it in profile, you can see that in addition to being a more sober style than your average oversized sports watch, with generally upscale tones and judicious use of white, silver, and honey brown, the bottom line is that it could easily clear a long sleeve. So if you want to wear this with a dress cuff, a sport jacket, or a blazer, it's an excellent companion for those purposes, and 300-meter water resistant. That's 1,000 feet for those using the Imperial system here stateside. It has the goods to go deep if you do. Now the bottom line is that because the straps are highly modular, you can see the attachments right here, hex bolts easily removed. You can swap the straps on this watch in under 5 minutes with a simple tool that everyone has lying around the house. Linde Werdelin has a huge range of accessory straps, everything from textile to exotic hides to rubber, different buckles, deployant clasps, different metals available on their website. You can really change the look of this watch, and I want to emphasize by showing you this S.p.A Speed with the same size case, essentially the same metal tones, a slightly different finish, but also the same geometry at the lugs and the same size straps. You can just see how differently they play. Even if you take the colors of the dials out of play, you can see how you can really change the look of this watch by changing the strap. It's really a makeover for your timepiece, and it's as easy as swapping on a new set of shoes. But The essential look that we have here is definitely a different one for Linde Werdelin, because in addition to the more sober metal finish and the unusual leather, the ostrich, you also have a dial and a bezel that are unconventional by Linde Werdelin standards. Now, established in the early 2000s, very much in the computer age, Linde Werdelin's philosophy has been, if you want to use your watch, your sports watch for sports, they're going to give you a clip-on modular computer, the reef for diving, and the rock for land sports. Everything from a compass to an avalanche warning system to alarms to multiple dive timers, barometers, dive depth gauges, everything built into those computers. And generally the watches, as you can see with the S.p.A, don't have rotating bezels in the classical dive watch fashion, but Linde Werdelin gives you one on the One 2.2. So if you do want to time something from 0 to 60 minutes and you don't want to bring a modular computer into the equation, say you just want to time something easily on land and quickly, or you want to go shallow scuba diving and submerge old school, you just use this diving bezel, abundantly loomed just like the dial. Legibility is outstanding, so you get that element of flexibility as well as the classical look of a conventional dive bezel. Now moving inboard, you'll notice that the dial is definitely more muted, upscale by virtue of simplicity. For those who aren't down with the honeycomb look, the F1 inspired dials, the skeleton dials that Linde Werdelin has really made its signature, this is going to be a breath of fresh air for you. From the artfully integrated date window, replacing the index at 4 o'clock, to the conventional but quite handsome and upscale silvered guilloche dial, this watch is the image of elegance. For an oversized sports watch, this one's definitely, I would say, decidedly upmarket in its presentation. Now you can see that the large trapeze hands and the indices themselves are absolutely coated with lume. So true to its purpose, this one glows like a torch at night. Legibility is not going to be a problem. Now there is a steep chapter ring or rehaut that is outboard of the hour track, sloping down from that calibrated bezel to the base of the dial. So there's a flow from the flanks to the hoods to the bezel to the rehaut to the dial. It gives this watch a beautiful continuity and progression as it rolls through your gaze and your eyes grace its surface. It has an elegance and a character and a charm to it that isn't entirely germane to the rest of the Linde Werdelin catalog. If you like Linde Werdelin, but you're not completely ready to give up the studied simplicity of the Rolex Submariners, of the classical Omega Seamasters, I would say that this Linde Werdelin The One 2.2 is definitely the Linde Werdelin for you. A versatile piece, a rugged piece, and an unusual piece. Again, one of only 88 made. It represents a rare opportunity to own one of the most versatile references from one of recent times' most innovative luxury watchmakers. See this Linde Werdelin The One 2.2 44mm in stainless steel on our website, Watch You Want.